Third graders, today we are making a symmetrical lion face. So very much looks like something you would have seen of the Lion King or coming from the country of Africa. So to start, we're going to use paper and paper bags and some oil crayons. So we're going to start with just this plain paper for the face of the lion. We're going to fold it in half because we know the lion's face is symmetrical. And we can cut it out symmetrical by folding it. So from that fold line, I'm going to draw down a little bit, a fairly straight line, and you probably can't see that, so I'm going to press harder. And then I'm going to get a big rounded ear in the corner of that paper. I'm still close to the edge of this paper, and I'm going to come around and down towards the bottom of the corner here, and I'm going to make kind of a rounded line. So I'm going to cut on that line while the paper is folded. If I open it up and I'm not the happiest with the shape, I can always cut a little more off of it. So because I cut from that fold and I open it up, it's the same on both sides. So oftentimes you're going to get a point or something down here that you might not want. You can trim a little bit more to make that a little bit rounded looking. If you like the point, I'll kind of add it back in. Awesome. So I have this lion's face, and we've looked at some lion's faces on the smartboard. So in pencil, I would tell you to draw lightly, but because you can't see light on the smartboard, I'm going to draw pretty dark. So I'm going to start with a curved line. Pretty much, if I measure here to here, it's almost in the middle of that lion's face. That's going to be the start of the nose. And I'm going to come down and round that shape. And then on each side, I'm going to draw a curved line coming down, and that's going to be more of his mouth. From here, I'm going to draw a curved line kind of coming up, and I'm going to match it on the other side symmetrical, and then I'm going to see one line coming down. Now I kind of see some spacing for the nose and the eyes. So from this nose line, I'm going to come up and around almost to the top of the ear. If I kept that going, it would touch the ear. Same thing over here, but I'm going to stop, and it would curve with the ear. Now I know that the eyes are on the sides of those pieces. Lions have curved eyes on the top, and then the bottom is a little bit bigger and wider than ours. Inside those eyes, I'm going to add those round iris shapes. They don't touch the top, but they touch the bottom. They're pretty big. And you could add eyebrows if you wanted, or you could just do that with oil crayon. Oftentimes you would see a shadow line up here, but I think I'm going to just add that with oil crayon. So as I color, I am going to start with the lightest color first. So that's going to be white. I'm going to color the bottom of this. And with oil crayons, you guys know that you can press hard. You can use your finger and smear to get a really nice dark color. So I'm probably just going to do half of this mask in the video so that you have more time. So there's half of his face. You guys would finish that up though. His nose is almost a peachish color. So that, I would say, is the next color I would use. White, and then some peach. So again, I'm only going to color half to save time. I want to try to get a texture on his face. So you could use the side of an oil crayon really lightly. You could even bring this to the wall and rub against the brick, or even rub against the texture by the free area, just to get a little bit of texture on his face. This works too. So I went from white to tan to this brown, but I'm not pressing very hard with this brown yet. I think I want to add some yellow first. So the yellow of the oil crayon is actually going to go on this outside part. For us, that would be white, but for the lion, it's going to be yellow. And then I'm ready to go back to that brown color. So the inside of the eye is going to be brown, pretty dark. So right now this doesn't look too real. I've done a lot of just my best coloring in the shapes. Now I want to start to add some value. So around these pencil lines, kind of want to hide those pencil lines. So I'm pressing hard, but I could also smear with my finger. And I could do that up into around his eye. I could add a little value in his nose to make it look more 3D. I think I'm ready for black, and I'm using black last because it's so dark. Maybe I'll add a little bit of color up in his ear too. So my examples will be up, and the examples of the lions will be up. I'm going to add just a little bit of black around those things to give it some more value. Maybe around his nose on the top too, making him look a little bit more angry. Maybe I might add a little value around this part of his nose. I might see a little bit of his nostril down there. Again, I'm trying to hide those pencil lines. In here. And you could smear those to give him some shaded look. And his eye. I'm going to go pretty dark around the outside of his eye, making it stand out, making him look kind of mean. Maybe up here I have some more value. In his eye, I'm going to outline a little bit around the iris. I'm going to add that pupil, that black dot. And then, to give it a little shine and glare, I'm going to take a white oil crayon and put a little dot of white on there. Makes it look pretty real. So at this point, I've got some really nice coloring, some shading and value, really making that face pop out. If you do that on both sides, I think it's going to look awesome. And then you're ready to start the fringes. So if I bring my finished example, I think I used 2 paper bags for these fringes. So you'll each get 2 to start. What you're going to do is fold this bottom part together. So if you do that, you can cut right where they're folded, and you can cut the bottom off the bag fast. So if I open it up, my hand goes right through it. I'm actually going to cut the bag open. Just like that. And I am going to do that on the other side as well. So now this one bag, I got 2 sides. And I am going to fringe cut. So that means I'm going to cut from one end, and I'm going to stop when I get close to the other end. I'm going to have to do that same thing on 2 of the bags. And then you're going to tape them to the back of your lion mask. So you can cut thick strips, long strips. They could be the same, they could be different. But if I turn this over, you can see that I had pieces of these bags. So if I flip my lion mask over, I don't just want to put 2 on like this and be done. I might have to cut them apart into smaller pieces so that they fit around the shape of that head. So you can see where I probably need 2 bags. I might not use the whole second bag, but then that gives me plenty to work with. So you will have tape that you can tape those pieces down. Mrs. Cleary will tell you where finished masks are going to go, but I think this can be done in one day if you use your time well.